Another day of testimony in that high-profile double murder trial in New Hanover County. One of the murder victim's sisters took the stand.
Amante Bell and Dyrell Grain are charged in the shooting deaths of Brianna Williams and Cordray Tyson, killed in July of 2021. WECT's Ariana Bertolotti joins us outside the courthouse. Walk us through what happened today, Ariana.
Well, Fran, it was an intense day in court even before the jury had walked in. Now, the judge admitted text messages into evidence. The messages were to defendant Dyrell Green's phone saying, quote, "I won't do anything to jeopardize your freedom." Also admitted a message from defendant Amante Bell containing a slang phrase prosecutors say means, quote, "gangster disciple killer." The gang victim, Cordray Tyson, was in. Then Brianna Williams' sister testified. She says Bell called her after the murders, asking if her parents knew who did it and to tell them he was sorry. The defense called it condolences. She called it strange. Now, the trial is expected to continue tomorrow. Live outside the courthouse, Ariana Bertolotti, WECT News.